Hi frugal friends, welcome back to Is Fire for Me. You have reached our daily dose of frugality segment. My name's Kim and I am guiding you through the book 365 Ways to Live Cheap. So you might recall, if you've tuned into our previous segments, that so far we are working on the 10 biggest tips for living cheap. We've covered step number 1, which is to take little steps, not big ones. Number 2 is to realize that you're not alone in this journey. Number 3 is to spend less than you earn. And today we are on number 4, which is calculate how much you really make. Many of the tactics of living cheap seem like a waste of time to many people. I'm not doing that to save $5, is a common thing to say. If you feel that way, try this experiment. First, calculate how many hours you work in a year. But that's not all. Add to that the hours spent driving to and from work, the hours spent working on stuff at home, the hours spent entertaining and supporting coworkers, the hours spent shopping for work supplies, and so on. If you spend even a sliver of time on a task for your job, count it. Next, calculate how much money you earn in a year, including your benefits. You can get that off your paycheck stub. From that, subtract taxes, the cost of commuting, gas, oil change, wear and tear on the car, other maintenance, the cost of work clothes, the cost of childcare, the cost of other supplies you need to purchase, and so on. Anything that you buy for your job, subtract it here. Then divide the amount you actually earn by the number of hours that you really work. This can be a painful process. What does that number mean? You can use that as a comparison for everything that you do. Thinking of buying an expensive gadget, use that real hourly rate to figure out how much of your life you're giving to your job to get that gadget. Wondering if a money-saving task is worth it? See how much time it will take and how much money it will save. You'll be very surprised. Things like making your own laundry detergent, we'll get to that in tip number 18, end up earning far more in savings for the time spent than actually going to work will earn you. I haven't done this calculation for myself. It would be interesting to try it. But Jesse and I sometimes would go through periods of time where we would purchase something or we would be thinking about purchasing something. And what we would do is we would equate the cost of that item to other areas of our life. So we at one point scored a really great deal on some kayaks. We were looking to get into kayaking and we had found some kayaks on Craigslist. And I think each kayak was maybe $250, and they were really nice boats that we could get some really good use out of. And so anytime we would think about buying anything else, we would think, well, how many kayaks is that? Well, that's worth half a kayak. That's worth 2 kayaks. And it just kind of gave like a unique way of measuring the cost of things. I think that this is sort of a little less fun and probably more sobering way of actually looking at what you're earning and what your money can buy you. But I think if you kind of keep in perspective, what is something that I'm buying? What does that actually cost me in actual dollars and in other opportunities? I think that's a really good exercise to try. So I might sit down a little bit later and see how much I'm actually earning at my job. And it's interesting to do this thought experiment. I will see you back here tomorrow for another daily dose of frugality. Thanks for tuning in.